We should talk about like briefly. Oh, more than just our parents are watching.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 2 of the Gray Area podcast. We were shocked by the amount of views and fun that we had on the first episode. How's it going to Sam?
No.
All right.
Hello. Do I need headphones or anything? Am I gonna be fine?
I think you're
Whatever
chilling.
you want. Dope. But yeah, more than what Christian was saying, more than just our parents watched last episode. So, that's good, way more than 5. But this time we have our boy Sam here to talk about whatever he wants. So take it away, Sam. What you wanna lead with?
So you guys can hear me and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Been escalating. So I started a company. Connor was kind of involved in that, and it's called Russian Bank. And that kind of took off. The idea of it took off in December, right before COVID hit. So I guess 2019 in December. And then I didn't really know what I was doing. And then kind of over spring semester, talking to my professors about it, kind of getting just really into it, and then ended up, so it's 2020, that was a while ago. Ended up starting it, and then trying to do that while working and dealing with the whole COVID thing and not really knowing what to do because I wasn't really instructed in my whole learning in college on how to like start a website or doing anything like that. So ended up basically just YouTubing everything, trying to figure everything out. Made a website, got a license, a business license, which I found out you don't even really need in California to sell stuff. It's just if you actually want to have a business entity. Anyway, but my website got taken down. I had a whole bunch of issues with the name of the company because in the state of California, you can't use the word bank in your entity. It has to be like something else because they think you're like trying to scam people for money. So I had to do all this stuff. Ended up my website, I created it, got taken down before I even like published anything. So then I kind of was having to sell things in person. And then especially with COVID, like everyone lost all their money and nobody was in the position of wanting to buy anything. So then I was like kind of sitting on all these ideas. I mean, I ran a whole bunch of ideas past Connor and concepts that I wanted to do and ended up starting. I think I made the biggest mistake of my company, which was just buying. I spent about $2,500 buying just bulk product to sell. And thankfully, I mean, I made about $800 from selling it, but just having so much product on hand nowadays is just dumb. And they have these things called like drop shipping or printing on demand and stuff where you don't have to have any product. So anyway, long story short, wanted to do all this stuff, realized I wouldn't be able to do anything without putting money up front. And then you have to like, what's it called? Basically take out a fat loan, have everything like just there, and then hope that you can sell stuff. And then finally I was like, screw it. I'm just going to stop until I was getting married. It was like 3 months before my wedding. So I was like, I'm just going to not do anything until then. Because I had all these shirts invested and I had a sewing machine, all this stuff, but I didn't have the investment of like a camera and like a good computer and good software, all this stuff. So I ended up taking a break from it. And then one day I honestly, I kind of didn't forget about it, but it was in the back of my mind. And then one of my models posted something on Instagram, like kind of like a shout out. And it like sparked my interest of like, not even just my interest, but like, oh yeah, like I have a business, like I have to try to do. So ended up, that was like what I needed to be like, okay, I'm going to sit down and figure out this whole website thing because I put it on hold. And then it took me one day, figured out everything. And now I'm drop shipping and doing print on demand, and it's going really good. It's really nice because I'm now working with a lot of like not designers, like I guess cartoonists and people for designs and whatnot for my shirts. And I have my own camera now. I invested in my own camera, so I was able to do that. So yeah, it's going good. I have another shoot today. I had 2 shoots yesterday. That's a funny story if you want me to share that. So we went up to, you guys know where Azusa Pacific is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so up there is like it's like in the mountains basically by West Covina. And I have these smoke bombs, and they're called like shutter bombs basically. They're like just underneath military grade. So it's like really like legit smoke bombs. And I bought like not 40 of them, 14 of them. And I was like, I'm gonna use these because it's gonna look cool with like detail and stuff in the photos. So we like go to my brother-in-law's grandparents' house, which he's living in, and it's like a super nice house, like a fat pool in the backyard. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna do all this stuff with smoke in the pool, and it turns out that like it looks like someone's house is on fire, like when I'm using these things. So we're in the backyard of some old grandma's house, and we're lighting off smoke bombs, and the neighbors are like freaking out. They're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, we're fine." Like, so we did that. That was funny. We go into the mountains, like go basically drive up this hill for like 30 minutes, get to the top. My brother-in-law drives his motorcycle, me and the model driving her car, following him. And we get up there and we have this big shot plan with like 4 smoke bombs and like, kind of off the road a little bit, but it's this giant dirt area. So it's like not like anything bad's gonna happen. So we're like shooting and the wind is just not cooperating. It's like blowing the smoke directly in our face, but it's also like making it look like really big, like there's something actually going on. So we're doing this, cars are driving by, nothing's happening. And we finished the shot in the video, and I was kind of upset. I was gonna do another go because I didn't really like do what I wanted it to do. And this car pulls up, and I actually have like video of this, but like this car pulls up, um, and they're like, "Is everything okay?" And we're like, "Yeah, yeah, it's just smoke, like no worries." And then they like pull over in front of us, and like I was like, "Why are they stopping? Like what the heck's happening?" And she gets out of her car and she's like, "What's wrong?" And we're like, nothing. And before me and my brother-in-law could say something, my model was like, "Oh, it's just smoke bombs." And that's like, obviously there's fire related to like the concept of a smoke bomb. Like it's
Right.
not a lot of sparks, but there are sparks. So instantly I was like, "Why did you say that?" And then they're like, the lady like looked at us, and my brother-in-law, before they got out of their car, he like looked at me and he goes, "It's a Karen." And I was like, "Okay." And she gets out and just starts screaming at us.
Oh my gosh.
Like, "You shouldn't be doing that. Like, you're gonna set this whole forest on fire." And we're just like looking at her like, "What the heck?" And her husband is standing there like waiting to get his 2 cents in. And then she stops talking. And my model's from Washington, so she has Washington plates. And he's like, "I know you guys are from Washington, but like we don't do that here in California." Like just total like super funny. So we're just sitting there like, well, just okay, thanks. Like we won't do it anymore. So it took us a lot of time to set up. So we had to like tear all this stuff down, and they're like sitting in their car waiting. Like they like won't
No
leave.
way.
Like they're
Oh
just
my
sitting there.
gosh.
And so now I'm thinking like, great, the cops are gonna come. And I know it's not illegal to have that in California, but like I don't want a ticket. I don't want to like get my camera
Right.
confiscated or my memory card confiscated. So I'm like, okay, let's go, let's go. So we go, and then thankfully they didn't follow us, but we got down the hill. It was super funny. But anyway, yeah, so that's what's been going on with Russian Bank. So hopefully it's gonna take off soon.
Jeez. Right.
Yeah. So
Well, I have kind of a question because
yeah,
Trident Regime, that's my
yeah,
company, but it's slow. I can totally understand the beginning.
yeah,
Um, I think we've talked about this, but just for the sake of it, so for me, I did inventory, so I have, you know,
yeah.
I think I probably have close to 200 shirts just sitting doing nothing. I've pretty much broken even, so I've sold probably 200, but I still have 200. So that's the way I went. And I did that based on quality in my mind, quality. So I'm wondering for you, why would you say that you picked print on demand. I mean, obviously you don't want inventory, but besides that, maybe give some reasons for that.
Yeah. So like I was talking about, I could take out a $10,000 to $15,000 loan and do what I want to do in my mind, which is quality. Like I want to be hands-on with all my product. I want to sew the tags. I want to sew like I have like thank you tags on here. I'll get a shirt. I'll be right back and get a shirt so I can show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So this is the shirt, obviously the Russian Bank shirt. It's the first one I did, but these are the tags, like this type of stuff, like a thank you, and then like I sewed this stuff on, like the actual like tag.
Right.
On anyway. So in order to do that, you have to like put a lot of money up front because I have to order a lot of this stuff from like Indonesia because that's where it's manufactured out of and the cheapest. And then in order to actually get good quality, you have to work with someone who does DTG and stuff like that. But that has their own established like warehouse, because if you go to like some of the print on demand places are like really good. But for instance, you got a custom ink and other places that just do bulk, they're just going to end up, there's no quality. The whole point of them is just print out, because they're assuming you're just either giving these away for free or that you're selling them for like $5 just to make some sort of profit for like food or something. So I kind of took the middle ground and went with like print on demand and stuff, because I know that what really matters is my design. And if I can sell my design and the concept of my design to my customers, that eventually that trust will be there, that it at least looks good. I also order samples. So I'm getting stuff in before I'm putting stuff out. So it's not just like, oh, have the crappiest Gildan t-shirt that there is on the market that's just going to shrink after the first time. Like I know, and I do research on the t-shirts that are on there available for me to use. It wouldn't be my top priority pick number one, but my top priority, like for instance, I found a t-shirt that I really wanted and they're made out of Spain, but it's like $30 per t-shirt because they're like really high quality. Wow. But it takes like 6 months to fulfill the order just to get the blanks in. And then I have to order an extra 100 blanks in case some get messed up in the process or just for sampling designs. But then I'd have to work with someone else, like an actual printer company, to do that. And it just is a lot right now based on having no money. So what I'm kind of wanting to do is just establishing my brand by design and concept, and then hook people on that, and then not hook them, but like create that environment around that and that fan base, customer base on that. And then eventually, once I'm have enough revenue and stuff, I can step into hands-on, getting a studio type thing, deal my stuff there. So
yeah, kind of going off of that, I like just out of curiosity, if you could explain your brand and like the concept and I guess marketing side of it, since that's what I graduated with, the marketing degree from Vanguard. I'm just curious, like your concept and what your brand like is actually about.
Yeah, so my brand's called Russian Bank. So I've been creative all my life. Like my dad, we had a youth group when I was young, and he made these shirts for like our youth retreats that were just out of this world, made no sense, but they had so much in the shirt. And it was almost like a meme. Like my dad was like making memes on shirts only in reference to our youth group. So I grew up kind of with that, and this idea of a shirt can be what you want it to be. The design can be what you want it to be. So there's a game that my family plays. It's called Russian Bank, and other people might have heard it. I heard of it. My family has its own way of playing, I guess, just like anyone has their own way of a certain game that they play.
Right.
It's called Russian Bank, and I played it since I was probably 15. My aunt, one day, we go and visit them. They live in Nevada, and she was like, "Oh, let's play Russian Bank." So my whole family's playing it, but it's a 2-person game, but everyone's like rotating and playing to see who's the best. And my then girlfriend, but now wife, we were playing. I took her up to visit them for Christmas. We were there for like 5 days, and we started playing this game, and I like just saw the joy that everyone had in playing with it and the competition that everyone had in playing with it. So I knew like I loved this, but that had no correlation with me wanting to use that as like actual brand or anything until I took the like until I like took a photo of like my wife playing it, which is actually like the design of this. So you can see like it's her like
That's
playing the
so cool.
game. And I was like, that's going on a t-shirt. Like, and it like literally in the moment, like I looked at it and there was so many things in there. Like the expression on her face, like the actual like photo, because that's like, designed, but like the actual photo, like there was so much there. It was like she was relaxing and on vacation and she was cold. She had this giant sweatshirt on or jacket on. And then um, there was like all these games that you can see all these games. So we were playing a game, but it was relaxation time. So there's so much in there, and I just like all clicked, and I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. Like I want to make something around this concept, but I didn't know that I wanted the name to be Russian Bank until I like thought of it, and I was like, what not better a name than something I'm familiar with, just called Russian Bank, because it's not like Yahtzee or something that someone's like, it's just like if you were saying, I'm going to play cards, like it's just Russian Bank. It's just like the game my family had played. So I was like, what not something better that's right there in front of my face. So I had that idea and then I proceeded along um, basically to like, what's it called? I like proceed along to then have concepts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
1 second, I need to.
That's so cool. I like that there's like heavy meaning in it, you know?
I agree. I mean, I think any brand should have a solid foundation and something that's really interesting to the person who starts it, and that passion and that drive to want to share those experiences of fun with games and relaxation and all those different I guess aspects of your brand. Sharing that with somebody that you're so passionate about comes across like awesome, when you're trying to tell the story of your brand to a consumer.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome, of having a super solid like foundation and reason behind your brand, which I
Yeah.
mean obviously Connor has as well with Trident Regime.
I try, I try.
So going back to like your question regarding like marketing and stuff. So I had to think about that because I made this first design and it's actually the most popular design I have. And I was very surprised with that. And taking it into consideration, there was a lot in that shirt or in that design that I was like, okay, so there's a lot going on here. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I want my designs to have a lot in it. Kind of like I was talking about before, the shirts my dad would make, like the meme shirts, the weird inside joke shirts and stuff. So I was like, okay, I want my concept then. I have like regular shirts, like Connor has like he had a couple shirts that were just like the Trident logo shirt, just like a
Yeah.
logo shirt. But then he had other shirts that were concepts. Like he had like the Chinese takeout bag shirt, and he had like the sailfish shirt, and his other one that he has with the scuba diver on the back of it. So I knew like I wanted both because some people just want plain and some people want everything, like just a
Right.
super confusing concept. So that's where my marketing is coming from, is the super confusing concept of selling something that's unique that no one really has. I guess it's like not really a niche market, but it's more of like a skater, street vibe, surfing vibe, something that people, it draws attention to that person wearing it. And they just were random ideas, like something I thought was just like super weird going together, but there's just so much there because the more you put into a photo, like it's different if you just put a whole bunch of different things all over a t-shirt, but if you put a whole bunch of different things into one section of a t-shirt, there's like so much there, it saves space, and people have a like, especially when you bring it all together, it's not just a bunch of random things, but it's like everything's involved in one thing. So I think that was really important in marketing wise. But speaking of actually marketing and money wise, it's really hard to like get your stuff out there. So it's a learning process, but definitely having to reach out to people to help get the word out. And I never want to do that thing where it's like, oh, just hit up your friends, family to buy a shirt. Like I want it to be more than that, like because
Right.
that just doesn't it just feels fake. Like if all you're doing is asking your friends and family to send money, you're just asking them for money essentially. So I want it to be more than that. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because it's like you can only sell so many shirts to your parents, where
Yeah.
it's like, all right, I need real customers that are actually like your parents care, but or my parents care, I should say, but they'll wear that or they'll wear something that's blank. They really don't care. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah, and kind of touching back on the website troubles you were having. Where are you, like, I guess, hosting the website right now?
Yeah. So I'm on Shopify right now. Before it was, so I have a legit domain and everything. So I have an actual website, but I do all my sourcing and everything through Shopify. Before I was on WordPress,
Yeah,
and that's really difficult. I mean, it's a good way if you're doing like you're handling everything yourself, packaging, sewing, printing, and everything, and you just want somewhere to put your stuff, like, and just gather payment information. But I didn't know that. I assumed it was like Shopify, to where I could uh, the software handles a lot for you. So anyway, so now I'm on Shopify, and basically Shopify has a bunch of apps that you can link to your Shopify account. So it's basically just a bunch of different print on demand or drop shipping um, entities that are underneath Shopify's umbrella, and you basically can have like 6 of them running, and you pick a design from or a design. You can pick like a t-shirt from this one, a t-shirt from this one. I sell what's it called? Rash guards now. So I found one that has rash guards for surfing, and that allows you to have much more diversity over just having one entity that's under Shopify. But the nice thing is that each different one allows you to design a different way. So some of them, it doesn't even let you design on sleeves, but others let you design all over the sleeves. Some of them don't let you design like the whole entire shirt. Other designs allow you to print, like, doesn't matter what part of the shirt, you can just put something on it. So there's a bunch of different ways. So I figured out that my mental capacity to be creative is just much more suited on that, because I can do whatever I want. I'm not limited by the software or anything like that, or the people printing the shirt. So yeah, it's nice. And then another thing that's amazing is you can actually control your profit margins, your numbers, and everything on there. So you can change, okay, I want a 5% profit on this shirt if it's a small, but I want a 7% if it's a medium, XYZ. So you can do all that on the software. And I found out that like makes it so much easier because it does it for you. You don't have to sit there and like get an Excel spreadsheet out and try to figure out. Basically everything you were taught in college is now just on software, and you just have to punch in a number, which is
yeah.
just unbelievable. So
No, I think you're so right. I mean, coming from my last job when I was working in marketing for a startup electric skateboard company, he was on Shopify, and same thing, like Shopify makes it so easy to go through and like change numbers, like look at marketing, look at analytics. Like I think Shopify is an awesome, super awesome platform.
yeah,
And, kind of going off of that, there's like the apps and stuff that you can do. There's so much. And I think it's super interesting how you can take what you learn in college, but also, figuring it out when you're actually on the job, working on your own thing, or, working
yeah,
in a work environment. I think it's so interesting how that knowledge and experience kind of blends together to create like a unique experience for learning your own brand and growing, or, helping somebody else as well.
definitely. Yeah. Yep.
Connor,
So
when are you getting
yeah.
on Shopify?
I was gonna say, fine, I'll use it. Okay, fine. You guys are talking about it like it's great. I should just do it.
The nice
But
thing
can you?
also is you have inventory like in person. So if you want, you can keep the inventory in person, and you can create the product on Shopify, but you can make it so you can basically say you like go on my website and order it, and they can go on and order it. So the money, then you don't have to get cash or Venmo or something. So the money instantly goes on there, and then you just hand them the shirt in person. So it like
Oh, okay.
you don't actually have to have it sent out. You can say, oh, I'm also doing brick and mortar, like in-person sales, like, and it will handle it on there too. So
Okay.
it,
Can I
yeah, you,
ship though? Like, will it give me addresses
yeah,
and stuff? Like if someone wanted to ship?
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
Shopify gives you better rates through UPS
yeah.
if you're
Oh,
shipping.
shoot. I didn't think about that. I
Yeah,
try,
they
I
they give
think,
you way better rates.
right. I think I sent a shirt to you at some point and it was like $10 to ship it. And it's
Yeah.
like, I could just drive 6 hours and give it to you, you know?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. What else, Sam?
I'm trying to think. It's been I've definitely learned a lot regarding disappointment in people that I work with, models wise.
Yeah,
It sucks that you're freaking Northern California, man. I wanted to do so many like shoots with you because all I have right now are girls. Like it's hard to find a guy to model because first of all, it's awkward to ask a guy to like model for
it's
you.
true.
But secondly, it's just like um or yeah, it's just harder. So but the way that people like it's almost I don't know if it's a disrespect, but imagine like you planning something with somebody and you're like, I'm gonna pay you. Like that's our contract. Like you will get money for your time. And then the day before they're like, oh yeah, like I can't do it. Like sorry. And it's
Right,
like, well thanks. Like we planned this, like just communicate.
right,
Like, are you still like wanting to do it? Like we can plan out
right,
future time, but like that's what we had done, and then you just cancel. Like that
right,
doesn't help me. It's different if you were doing it for free or whatever, but
right.
yeah. So
Like
I've
I
had
was.
yeah, yeah. But
But
it's just
no,
funny. Yeah. Go ahead.
I agree with that. I think disappointment's like a big thing, I feel like, with this, because like I don't know if you've ever took entrepreneurship at
Yeah.
Vanguard. Yeah, that he talks about basically, I mean, it's common thing with entrepreneurial spirit or whatever, is like you're gonna fail way more than you're gonna like succeed. And so that was hard for me to get past that because I have shirts. You mentioned one of them, the Chinese food box one. I hate them. I literally like people to ask me about them, and I'm so like dead talking about it. I'm like, I hate this shirt. Like, I honestly don't buy it. Like, don't. And which is bad because I probably sold 5 of those, and I ordered I think 55. So I still have
Oh,
50 of them. I have basically all of them, and it's
yeah.
just like it was disappointing because I was just trying to get a bunch of shirts out, and so I have several designs that are like these are trash, but then I have like the one I'm wearing, and like you said, the sailfish one, like some that I'm like really really proud of, and
Yeah.
so it's like again, I don't want someone to buy my B and C level work. I want someone to buy my A level work, but
Yeah.
I've had people come up and be like, "Oh, that shirt's dope," and it's like I'm glad you like it because I don't,
But I don't.
so
Yeah.
I can totally understand the whole disappointment on a like on a different level, obviously,
Yeah.
but
For sure.
yeah, even with designing, because like for me, I'm not trying to be selfish here, but for me, with my brand, the whole idea is like you said, promoting creativity, and I feel like I'm a sort of creative person, and I could make designs and stuff, but I also think other people are more talented in that aspect of creativity. So I feel like I've had people paint things for me or draw things for me or whatever, and sometimes it's hard because so Christian, he's drawn some great things for me, and it's like I want to use them, and I'm going to very soon, but then other people will draw things for me, and it's like, oh, like that's not on
Yeah.
on theme, like either it's weird or it's not like that good or something like that. And
Yeah.
so it's hard. I've had people literally like where I'm like, oh, like, I'll tell them like, hey, I'm really picky. Just right off the bat, I'll tell you I'm really picky. And most people are fine with it. And so they'll do something like, oh, can you just like change this little thing and it'll be great. A lot of times it's like, yeah, it's no problem, whatever. And then other people are like, why would I change it? And it's like, because I'm gonna
Yeah.
pay to print it. So I feel like I have like a little more control, even though like that's the other thing. I want them to like sign it. I want them to get most, if not all, the credit for it. I'm just like facilitating it, but it's hard, honestly. Dealing with other people that's something you don't really learn that well in college, you know. I feel
Yeah.
like group projects, maybe you learn that, but most of the time it's Christian knows this. You do the uh you do all the work and then you just don't have to deal with the other people, you know.
Yeah.
but yeah.
There's also something, so in regards to that, I know I've talked to you about it before, I think, but Fiverr is a great place to use. I don't know if you've heard of that, Christian.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
sorry.
but that's where I first discovered like using other artists to get my point across because I suck at drawing. Like I probably could do it, but that's just not up to what I'm wanting. And being able to pay someone else a super cheap price to make my design, make my logo and everything has been awesome. And yeah, so that's definitely something you should look at too, is like because then they give you free revisions and stuff and then they can change it. But
Right.
it also is something that you can use on Photoshop or you can create a PNG so it's always there and it's digitalized. So
Yeah. I used Fiverr for one. It was actually a really difficult project, so that's why I've like a left a bad taste in my mouth, you know. But then I have to remember, oh, this is like really, it was a really difficult thing, and you know, the what I paid for it was like not that great, and so like, oh man. But no, I do think people that do like vector and like, yeah, if you just want like a logo, I think that's great because my mind is not set for logos. I feel like it's more set for design. So
yeah,
my logo, it's like I don't have a real logo yet. It's more of just like the name plus what you see when you think of a trident, you know. So, but yeah, I've used it before. It's I think it's a really good idea. I definitely do because you know people should get paid for what they're good at. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I think
nice.
it's I think it's really interesting hearing. Sorry, Connor.
No, you're good.
Okay. I think it's really interesting hearing both of your guys' experience with starting a brand, as that's something that, I've been looking into and talking to Connor about for a little bit now. So I mean, hearing your guys' experience with disappointment and, all different tools and stuff, it's a little nerve wracking, but also, really exciting because I feel like, you know, me and Connor are kind of on the same page creativity wise. And, you know, we're both interested in similar things and all that. So, looking at starting my own brand, I think that's also really inspiring to see other people do it, but also knowing that there's a reality to that as well. So I want to thank both of you guys for talking about your experiences as, I think, looking into starting something myself, I think is really helpful to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't let your fear of failure or anything stop you from doing it because you gotta, it's like one of those concepts like go big or go home. Like if you don't go as big as you like need to for your creativity, you're gonna regret it. You're not gonna like it. You're gonna always look at it as something could have been better in it. And that's something for me where I'm just like, all right, just until it's good enough, then you're ready to post it. Like just wait until it's good enough. Because if it's not, and then people also won't buy it, then it puts a negative aspect on your brand as well as failure for that you think that you have. So
Yeah.
Sweet.
mhm.
Christian, be my head of marketing and
Pay
web
me.
design and anything I don't want to do.
I mean, if you set up a Shopify, I will help you with that. It's pretty self-explanatory to navigate, but I can definitely help
Hey,
you with
watch
some of
yourself.
that. I can
You
definitely
just
help
lost
you
a
with some
job.
of that. Okay.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you, Sam. It's been great. This
Yeah,
is
of course,
this fun topic, you know.
definitely.